And here real and y'all ain't hear me win. They'll be hot for a year, so we call him Jeremy Lin. Blue, 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 blue and gold, blue and gold. I'm the young Vogue when I pull up at the show. I've wanted to do Team Backpack, you don't know how long it took me. I'm still too young to get into venues that wanna book me.
Yo, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Anime Psycho, aka Dazo. And today we're going to be doing what if Naruto was a part of Kaguya clan. I know this is my first video in like 2 months, bro, but I just haven't. I literally forgot that I had a YouTube channel, really, to tell you the truth. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So how this is going to work, we're just going to say that Minato is a part of Kaguya clan, and he is the strongest to ever wield their Kekkei Genkai, which is basically the bone marrow thing that Kidomaru had. Okay. So let's get straight into this. So it's obviously the Naruto's attack. Everything is going pretty much the same. Nothing really changes. Up until the point where Naruto is about 4 years old. Now, Naruto is about 4 years old, and there's no way of hiding it anymore. He is the son of the fourth Hokage. There's no way of hiding it. There's nothing they can do to hide it because he resembles him entirely too much now that he has the facial feature and the little part in his hair. And his hair is kind of like his dad's hair, but it's more down of how we wanted adult Naruto's hair to look. But of course, you know, you can't win them all. So that's kind of how his hair looks. So it's a lot easier for him to get adopted, but he was adopted by Danzo. Danzo decided to adopt him and try to make him an assassin and a weapon for the Leaf, but he basically refused to do that. So he just dumped him off on Kakashi when Kakashi decided to leave the Anbu. So Kakashi decided that he was going to leave the Anbu, and Danzo gave him one last mission, and that mission was to raise and take care of Naruto and make him a splendid shinobi, and basically just make him a prodigy. You feel me? What a prodigy would be considered. So everybody was like, okay, alright, we can do that. So, yeah. Naruto was being trained by Kakashi. Sorry. Naruto was being trained by Kakashi, and Kakashi taught him the arts of swordplay, close combat fighting, and all of those things. And one time while they were close combat fighting, Naruto realized that Kakashi had an opening, and out of nowhere his body just reacted to it and just stabbed him right there with one of his bones. And Naruto's only around 5 at this point, so Kakashi's holding back. But when he sees this, he does kind of use like body flicker and just darts back. He realizes that Naruto inherited the Kekkei Genkai of his father and what is meant to be done. So he basically trains Naruto to get the bones to come out at will, and to be able to manipulate them and even remove them from his body and even create more bone. And yeah, and it hasn't been stated if Kidomaru could change other people's bones and like affect other people's bones. I think it's just his bones, but you know, we don't know this yet, so I'll just see if I want to give that ability to Naruto within the future. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, so we fast forward into the last day of the academy, and Naruto overhears Mizuki trying to manipulate a student, and Naruto basically goes and tails this student, following him to make sure that once they find him and he's still on the scroll, that he isn't basically just killed. So he goes and he stops him. He takes the scroll, he knocks him out, and Mizuki goes to the meeting point and realizes that somebody has already taken the scroll, and he thinks that he has been used by Orochimaru. I think that's who first sent him was Orochimaru. So he curses out like, "I hate you, Orochimaru. I hate you. I hate you." And Naruto overhears this and realizes it's Mizuki. He's had the scroll for about an hour, and he's opened it and seen a couple hidden jutsus of something along the lines of Uzumaki hidden jutsu and Kaguya hidden jutsu. So he's learned a couple sailing jutsu. He's learned things that he can do with his bones, that he can detach them and even manipulate them as they're being detached and change the shape of them and all that type of thing. And that he can actually use his bones as a kind of exosuit, even if he wanted to, and things of that sort. And he also found the Shadow Clone Jutsu and a jutsu called Mastery of the Fourth. That was also something within the scroll, and it just required the blood of the fourth Hokage or one of his descendants. And he basically opened it, and it just was a bright light. Naruto was knocked out. And then Mizuki said, "Oh, this is easy." He tried to take the scroll, but Iruka showed up and put a stop to him. We don't get to see that moment with Naruto, but obviously that moment doesn't have to happen in this situation, because we already know that Naruto is pretty OP in this scenario. So yeah, Mizuki is actually locked up. Iruka stopped him, and they asked Iruka if he possibly wanted to try to become a Jonin. Iruka said that he's not prepared for that situation, and he continues to train and get stronger. So we're at the point of meeting your senseis. Oh no, I want to take what I said about Iruka stopping him. I'm gonna say that Kakashi stopped him. Oh no, there's no point in that. There's no point in that. I take what I just said back. Iruka stopped him. So Kakashi gets Naruto, pulls up to the scene, gets Naruto, and now it's around the time for people to meet their sensei. So obviously, Team 7 is pointed out. And there's a new student that has come to the class, and that would be Kidimaru. He was sent to infiltrate this village. He is still sick, but it's not to that extreme level yet. So the first team would be Team Prodigy, which would be Naruto, Sasuke, and Kidimaru. Second team, and then the rest of the teams are pretty much the same, and Sakura's just added on to some random team. We don't really care about her. She's pretty much irrelevant in this, since she doesn't have any relevancy to this topic. Yeah. Alright. So they're part of that team. They don't know that Kage is a double agent, but Kidimaru is a double agent, but they still are wary of him because obviously they don't know him. Sasuke is pretty wary of everybody. Naruto was raised as basically an honorable member, so he's pretty wary of people that he doesn't know or trust. So it's taking a long time for basically their sensei to show up. So he thinks, "Oh wow, so we got him as our sensei." And Sasuke says, "Who? And how do you know who he is?" He says, "The only person that could possibly be our sensei and still be this late and really not care about their punctuality is Big Brother Kakashi." He says, "Who is that?" "Kakashi. Well, my dad trained him, and he was basically like my father growing up, but he was kind of young when he took me in, only around 15. So he's kind of like my big brother. And he's really never on time for anything, so you might as well get comfortable. He might not be here for the next hour." And Kakashi basically walks in the room and says, "Naruto, I'm never really that late, am I?" And he says, "You're always late, big brother. Come on, we have to go do this meeting crap." So basically everything happens. Everybody shares who they is. Kidimaru comes in and he says, "My name is Kidimaru Kaguya." and I want to know more about my clan. That's why I came to the Leaf, because this is the last place my family was seen, and the last surviving member was the Kage here at one point. This intrigues Naruto, as the last Kage that wasn't either a Senju or Lord Third was his dad, and we know Lord Third isn't nowhere near the Kaguya family. So he obviously knows he has to be talking about his dad. Okay, so sorry, I had to go do something real quick. Sorry about that little pause there for a second. You guys probably didn't even notice because best editor on YouTube. Anyways, so Naruto is intrigued by this, and then Sasuke says, I want to be strong because I have to kill a certain someone. And Naruto already basically knew Sasuke's aspirations and goals, and to kill, because he was basically raised in the upper class of the village, being raised by an Anbu member, originally being raised by the Anbu until he was like 6. So, yeah. So anyways, yeah. What was I about to say? Yeah. So, yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that. So, Kakashi sends him home and tells him, alright, don't eat anything tomorrow. We got a big day, blase, blase, blase. Naruto comes prepared with rice balls and like, we're gonna be waiting here for a while. Eat these. And Kakashi pulls up right before they finish the last rice ball. And yeah, he says, okay, since you guys want to eat a rice ball, I'm gonna take this seriously. Yeah. So it all starts, and Naruto doesn't go anywhere when the bell test starts. Sasuke and Kinemaro both dart into the forest, starting to cover, trying to think of a plan on their own. And Naruto says, Big brother Kakashi, we should start this off with a little bit of sparring, should we? And before you know it, he has spawned like 30 shadow clones. And 2 of the shadow clones have darted off using body flicker and to mask their energy, to get away, basically, and go to his teammates and try to get a plan with them. And yeah, trying to make a plan with them. So the shadow clone goes and basically tells them, yo, this entire thing is about teamwork. Let's just work together and get this done. We don't even have to get the bells, but it'll be a bonus if we do. So, Kinemaro, tell me about your ability and your powers, and then destroy the shadow clone. And then he basically gives Sasuke the exact same combo. And they tell him about their abilities and things they can do, and then they destroy the shadow clone. Then Naruto sends out 2 more shadow clones to go talk to them and tell them a plan. He's like, Kinemaro, I need to talk to you after this battle, but here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna charge at him using your bone marrow attacks and stuff like that, and I'm gonna sit back and use my bone marrow attacks as shuriken. Don't ask any questions. Yes, I have the same Genkai as you. And Sasuke, you're gonna release a fury of fireballs to mask yourself, and then you're gonna go in and have hand-to-hand combat. You and Kinemaro are gonna tag team while I get tags off, and then try to hit the bells with my shuriken. Are you ready? Ready. Go. Alright? So, Naruto and Sasuke immediately jump into action. Kinemaro is kind of stunned by what's going on, but he realizes that he also has to keep his cover, and you know what I'm saying? So he basically brings out his blade, his bone blade, and just charges at Kaka Sensei and starts kicking, punching, and trying to get him off his balance, while Sasuke is doing the exact same thing. And then he kind of leans and it gives the bells kind of a bit of space to get cut. And Naruto throws a shuriken, but Kakashi sees it in time to put a shadow clone there. Whew. Alright, so after that, Naruto actually activates a little bit of his red chakra, aka Kurama, to basically be able to keep up with Kakashi. And now they're in hand-to-hand combat. And at this point, the other two are in awe that Naruto is able to keep up with a Jonin as a Genin, and to the point where he's actually inflicting damage. And they realize that he's been training with his Jonin basically his entire life. So the timer goes off as Naruto grabs hold of the bells. And Naruto basically falls out flat and says, "Big brother Kakashi, I never knew that fighting you at full power is so draining." And he basically goes to sleep. And yeah, so that is part 1 to what if Naruto was part of the Kaguya clan. Next part, we're obviously going to be going over the Zabuza arc. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell a friend you like anime.